Shalom, shalom. We want to make sure everything's on point before we get started with this lesson. But I'm Brother Shalomah. So our Brother Shalomah again.
Shalom, Ariyah.
Come, man. So this is a second Esdras chapter 15 breakdown through the Spirit, something that we wanted to go over. Most High willing, we're gonna come at you, with more videos, in the leading upcoming days. So again, shalom to the 12. Greetings to everybody scattered abroad. Mighty shalom to the brothers out there that labor in this thing. Put in the works. You know what I'm saying? Putting in, endless amounts of hours. It's labor not only for themselves but for the nation as well. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the sisters that's playing their roles and their duties, and and righteously seeking to be that daughter of Sarah, like all our women should be. And shalom to the little saints as well, man. You know what I'm saying? So again, this is second Esdras chapter 15, and it's a long chapter. So we're gonna get right into it. Let's go to second Esdras chapter 15 and let's get verse 1 right here.
So second Esdras chapter 15 and verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
The words of what?
The words of prophecy.
Right. So he says to speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. Right. Was that it on verse 1?
Which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord.
All right. We're gonna hold there. Let me get 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and let's get verse 4 right here. Right. So he says to speak in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. Why did the Most High do that? Because that's how his word has always been sent forth. You know what I'm saying? When you look at Samuel in 1 Samuel chapter 16, you know what I'm saying? The people feared and dreaded when Samuel came around. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't know what the news was going to be. Was it good news, bad news? The people trembled at his coming. All right, so let's get that right quick. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, and let's get verse 4.
1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 4. It says, now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit.
Right, there's diversity of gifts, but the same Spirit. Go ahead.
Verse 5, and there are differences of the ministrations, but the same Lord.
Right, we're going to drop down to verse 28. So he says there's diversities of gifts, right? But the same Lord, right? Go ahead.
Verse 28, and Yahweh hath set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healings, helps, governments, diversities of tongues.
So we see there's a number of different gifts that people have been given, right? But we're going to read all the way down through 31. Go ahead, King.
Verse 29. Are all apostles? Are all prophets? Are all teachers? Are all workers of miracles? Have all the gifts of healing? Do all speak with tongues? Do all interpret? But covet.
Do what?
But covet earnestly the best gifts.
What are we to do?
But covet earnestly the best gifts.
Right. So he says, but covet earnestly the best gifts. Right. So, on one hand, there's the law, thou shalt not covet. Not that covetous is wrong, but what are you coveting? Right. Because Paul right here is saying you got to covet the best gifts. Right. And we just read a list of some of the best gifts. Right. Let's go to chapter 14 in 1 Corinthians. So let's get verse 39. Right. So Paul again talks about the gifts, and then he says you should covet earnestly the best gifts. Right. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians 14 and 39. Wherefore, brethren, covet to prophecy.
Covet to what?
Covet to prophecy.
Right. And now Paul, again, a couple of chapters later, is saying, look, you should be coveting to prophesy, right? You know what I'm saying? So now we're going to drop that. We're going to get Sirach chapter 39 and verse 1 real fast. Right. So we see that prophecy is being held to a high regard. Now, and that's not to say brothers just should be focusing solely on prophecy.
Right.
We know it's far more important things than to go over the prophecies, because the scriptures, like the scriptures say in Sirach chapter 19, you know what I'm saying? He that keepeth the law, I'm going to loosely paraphrase it, you know what I'm saying? And don't transgress. You know what I'm saying? It's better than one that have the knowledge
Right.
and still transgresses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's get that right quick, King.
Sirach.
Sirach, what did I say? 39 and 1.
Sirach 39 and verse 1.
Right.
But he that gives his mind to the law of the Most High.
But he that does what?
But he that gives his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof.
Right. If you give yourself unto the law, the Most High will increase you in wisdom, and you'll be sharp. You know what I'm saying? Your whole aura, you know, like it talks about in Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 1, how the light shone upon his face, man, for wisdom's sake. Right. You know what I'm saying? If you occupy yourself in the meditation of God's laws, the Most High is going to have nothing but wisdom flowing through you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Keep going on that real quick, King.
And real quick, even Stephen, before he got persecuted, and he had so much wisdom that the man said he looked like the face of an angel. Go ahead. Yeah. But he that gives his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied.
And be what?
And be occupied in prophecies.
Right. So if you're somebody that meditates in the law, you know what I'm saying, and seeks out all the wisdom of the ancients and be occupied in the prophecies, you know what I'm saying, the Most High is surely going to show his spirit through you. You know what I'm saying? But he says to be occupied, right? We're going to get one more scripture on that, and we're going to go back to 2nd Esdras 15. Let's get Luke chapter 19 and 13 real quick. Right? And we know Luke is dealing with the parables of Yahweh Shai. I want to say shalom to everybody online.
Wow.
Judah, Dina, you know what I'm saying? Lynn, you know what I'm saying? Don, you know what I'm saying? Shalom to everybody. Keep going, King, on this one.
19 and what?
13.
19 and 13. It's the book of Luke, chapter 19 and 13. And he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, occupy till I come.
What did Christ say?
Occupy till I come. Right.
So again, that occupying till he comes is being occupied in the prophecies. You know what I'm saying? The breakdown. So this is why we're about to go ahead and get into 2nd Esdras chapter 15. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I can get it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get the next verse. So I'm gonna get 2nd Esdras chapter 15, and we're gonna read verse 2 now, right?
Because the Most High has always sent prophets to write these records. Right. If we didn't have no records, where would Israel be today, man? Hey, if you go into the times of John, the Revelator, when he seen the hopelessness, you know, beyond all the prophecies, hey, he wept in Revelation chapter 5. He thought there was no hope. And then he seen that nobody was able to open the scrolls in the heavens nor on the earth until Yahweh Shai pops up. So we got to give all honor and all praise to Yahweh Shai for doing what he did, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he is the only one that had the ability to open this understanding up and open these scrolls of judgment, decrees, righteousness, deliverance, so on and so forth. So go ahead and read it up.
God, it's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 2. And caused them to be written in paper.
And caused them to be written in paper. These are the records. If we didn't have our records, just imagine all these different heathen nations, man. They all got oral traditions, and they passed. So like they passed different things, different stories by verbal, oral. Was it oral? Is that what they call it? Well, it's like you basically passing it down through not through paper, right? But just communication. You know what I'm saying? And hey, they changed their language. Hey, they killed multiple elders. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that happen. This is why Yahweh Shai, way before he created the earth, planned to set up different prophets to write down records throughout generations. Very important. So give me Revelations chapter 1. Well, now first Deuteronomy 32 and 8.
It's the book of Deuteronomy.
I think it's 7.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, and verse number 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations.
Consider the years of many generations. How do you do that? By writing them down. Go ahead.
God. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee.
Right. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. Hey, these scriptures are the elders, man.
God.
These scriptures are the prophets. These are documents that our mighty forefathers have wrote just for us today, so we can interpret them in the latter times, man. Where the scripture says in the book of Daniel, knowledge shall increase as well.
Sure.
Daniel chapter 12. Give me Proverbs. No, give me Hebrews chapter 1 and 1. Yes. So it's very important that the Lord writes things down and he used the prophets only. All these men that wrote the Bible, there was either apostles or prophets, and as the brother got into with the gifts in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, these gifts, diverse gifts, all came through the power of the Most High given to his church, and his offices, right? Go ahead.
God. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
God, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets.
Spoke by the prophets, and he spoke to the fathers through them, right? And all the secrets were given to the prophets. So we do make the prophecies as a high regard, because that's part of our deliverance. All right. And the last one is Revelations chapter 1 and 3.
God. Yep. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 3. And it reads, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy.
And they that hear the words of these prophecies. So we got to hear the prophecies. The prophecies, hey, it builds your spirit up. All right. Prophecies is divine progress. And we're moving right along through the spirit of Mashiach Yahushua. And now skip down to 19.
It's the verse 19, and it reads, write the things which thou hast.
What?
Write the things which thou hast seen.
Write the things that you've seen. So everything the apostle John seen in the spirit while he was in the island of Patmos, which was a salt mine, damn slaves over there by the Roman Empire. Everything he seen at that time, he said, write it down. The Most High split the veil of time and allowed John the Baptist, or John the Revelator, and many other prophets to, kind of see the future of what we're doing today. So what?
Come, write the things which thou hast seen, and the things which are, and the things which shall be hereafter.
So the things that you see right now, which is the Roman invasion and the persecution of the Israelites at that time, but and specifically in the time of John the Revelator, are the things that will happen and the things in the future where we living in today. This is why the Lord told his disciples, hey, many prophets desire to see what you're seeing and hearing what you're hearing today. Many kings desire to see this moment where we at today, man. It's a very beautiful moment because, hey, we woke. I hear with that.
God. So we're going to keep reading in second Esdras. Let me get back there real fast. So, yeah, man, brothers got to be occupied in the prophecies and keep watch, man. You know what I'm saying? Yahushua spoke about that. You know what I'm saying? Keeping watch of what's going on the earth. You know what I'm saying? So, prophecies might slow down a little bit, and you might get right back into those same habits that you had. You know what I'm saying? But, things can take off at any point in time. The Most High has given us a spiritual check, you know what I'm saying, occasionally to get your mind right. But it's up to you to continue on a day-to-day basis, handling your business as you ought to, right? So, second Esdras chapter 15 again, and we're going to read verse 3. And it says,
second Esdras chapter 15 and 3. Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
Right. So the Most High says, fear not the imaginations that are against thee. And we know Esau goes into deep counsel. You know what I'm saying? Deep, conversations to try to figure out how to continue on in the system of oppression that we live in Babylon the Great here in America, and the system of white supremacy that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? And then, we see what's escalating right now as AI is taking over. You know what I'm saying? So Esau has some great imaginations that are against us. And only God knows how far things are going to go with this technology. You know what I'm saying? Where you got vehicles, you know what I'm saying, driving themselves, you know what I'm saying? And that's becoming more common out here in California. It's regular to see that now every day. You know what I'm saying? You in San Francisco, you in LA, huh?
You remember that the Asian guy, Breakfast Club, he was over there trying to, I think he was trying to be a president around that time.
Okay.
And he was saying, because the AI and all that stuff that the brother doctor was talking about, when that comes to fruition, it's going to mess up the people like us that's in the position of labor, you know, in the fields and all that. And he specifically talked about black people. He said, the black wealth will be zero about time that, you know, comes into fruition. You know what I'm saying? Because of that. So, I mean, we are, and he said like 2030 or something.
Right.
And Lord forbid we be here that long.
No, for real.
But if we do, we're gonna ride it out until the wheels fall off. All right, so I just want to put this precept out real quick. This is Psalms chapter 64 and 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Right? So the insurrection is when you try to dethrone a government. You know what I'm saying? You're dethroned like Trump and the people that follow Trump in his first presidency. And they had an insurrection. Right. You know what I'm saying? You try to dethrone the government. Scripture says in the second Esdras chapter 16 that they're going to plan to dethrone the government of Mashiach Yahushua like they did in the time of Babylon, man. Raise it even to the foundations thereof. So they always been planning to dethrone and to overthrow the government of
God. Can everybody still hear us? Just put a 1 in the chat. No sound. God. Everybody still hear us? it's all cheating. That's exactly what it is, man.
Yeah, it's that.
You know.
Yeah, and you know, Satan trying to hinder the word like usual.
Yeah.
Hey, but the game must continue.
No, yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, you know, lastly, it says, "Let not the imaginations of them fear thee." Right. And I was just thinking about the meta glasses that just kind of came out. We was talking in terms of the technology and everything, and the economic wealth of Black people, how it's going to be at zero. But they have meta glasses. I was just about to look it up and show a video that I had saved, but you know, I can't find it right now. But nonetheless, they have meta glasses that a lot of people are using on for social media content these days, where they're walking up on people and you know, unbeknownst to them, you know, they're being recorded. You know, a lot of people are doing it for content. Maybe it's already understood before they walk up on these people. But they do have these particular meta glasses in which it can, you know, identify you in all of the social medias that you have across every single app. And yeah, they can pick all of that up just from, you know, wearing some glasses. You know what I'm saying? So that's how deep this technology goes. You know what I'm saying? You have a
I don't know. Can they hear?
yeah. You can probably show the video too. Is that the one? Yeah, I wish it was the actual one where these a Moabite and a Jake was together walking through the streets. But you can play that.
Yeah, tell you.
Because we're entering the age of AI, we're going to have self-driving cars and trucks in 5 to 10 years. 30% of malls are going to close in the next 4 years, thanks to Amazon. 2.5 million call center workers in the U.S. are going to get replaced by AI. There's a study in The Guardian that said the median African-American household net worth is going to be zero by 2053, like in 34 years. You guys see that study? Well, you should look it up. And so why are they forecasting that African-American net worth is going to go to zero? It's because of this economic tidal wave that is coming. This economic tidal wave is going to wipe out many working class jobs. It's going to be the equivalent of a natural disaster. And we know what happens in a natural disaster. Who suffers? Poor people who don't have the resources, people of color, and the same thing's going to happen in this. So because we're entering the age of AI, we're going to have self-driving cars and trucks in 5 to 10 years.
And that's also why they gaffling up Northern Kingdom as well. You know, to try to disrupt any, you know, economic stance that the 12 tribes have, man. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I mean, and then it says, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee. You know, and incredulity is just those that are unfaithful, those that don't have faith. You know what I'm saying? We see a lot of our own people that are, you know, lacking faith, don't believe, you know what I'm saying, falling off into different ideologies of this world. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we know it's thousands of those. You know what I'm saying? So, but don't be rattled by the non-believer that's in the world and that's prospering. You know what I'm saying? Don't be rattled by, you know, certain questions and heresies that you know, that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. You got your position has to be firm in Yahweh Shah in these times, right? So we're gonna keep going on 2nd Esdras chapter 15. 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Right? So, and looking historically, we know how much death that our people have, you know, had to endure. You know what I'm saying? We see it on a day-to-day basis, things being uncovered. You know what I'm saying? Like a few years ago, you know, over 200 children in a Catholic church was discovered underneath a Catholic church. You know what I'm saying? Over 200 bodies of indigenous children. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, our people are led as a flock to the slaughter every single day. You know what I'm saying? We don't know who these ICE agents are that's, you know,
snatching up.
Yeah, snatching up people. And, you know, obviously it's no paperwork, no documents, no warrants, you know, being issued. You know what I'm saying? How do they know the names? They don't know the names of the people. They just snatching up whoever they believe and deem to be, immigrants.
And allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, they found bodies on the seashore that were migrants, coming from America.
Yeah.
So it's gonna get ugly out here, basically.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta really trust Yahweh. You gotta trust that the word that you possess in you will guide you where you need to go. You know what I'm saying? Like David said, that let your word be hid in my heart that I may not sin against you. So you want to be led by the word of Mashiach Yahushua any times, whether it's Jacob trouble or not. Always want to be led by the Spirit of the Lord.
No, yeah, absolutely. But this is why the Most High said again, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Because Esau is bloodthirsty, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He gets off on being able to dominate, you know what I'm saying, people. You know what I'm saying? That's why he learned from his past kingdoms, you know what I'm saying, the Greek and Roman Empire, you know what I'm saying, and he's developed himself to becoming what this nation is today. You know what I'm saying? And that is all across everything that you could imagine. Political, you know what I'm saying, religious, and military. They dominate in all of those areas.
Right.
They learn how to, juggle all of these different aspects to keep this kingdom intact. But we see it falling apart. You know what I'm saying? So, but with them being bloodthirsty as they are, right? Give me Psalms chapter 75 right quick. We know the Revelation 13. It talks about the great war. It talks about the dragon, seven heads and 10 crowns. But let me get Psalm 75, and let's get the last verse.
Psalm 75 and verse 10. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off.
Will I what?
Also will I cut off.
Right. So all the horns that they possess, the Most High is going to cut these damn horns off. And what is a horn used for? When you look at the nature, you look at nature. Look at a ram. What is a ram? Where is a ram's strength located? It's in his horns. That's why he's coming head first at you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in this regard, in this aspect, the horns that Esau has and the horns that the Bible was biblically talking about was his strength, which is his military and his political might.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And his religious to some degree as well. But the Most High said he's going to break all of these things, and he's doing that right now through his servants, the prophets. You know what I'm saying? Through all of us, man. Through the sisters, to the little children. You know what I'm saying? Not being raised in the same customary things that, we all grew up in.
Right.
So the Most High is breaking these things down by exposing their religious falsehoods. You know what I'm saying? By exposing their military. They're not going over there to fight for our freedoms. They're going over there for drugs. They're going over there for oil. They're going over there for resources.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And also within the political sphere. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing but folly and madness. All they do in these political in the political realm is they slander one another to see who's going to have the least dirt to be in office.
Right.
That's madness, man. You sitting here looking for slander on your opponent so that you can be in a position of leadership. Right. That's madness and folly, man. You got it, though, King.
Yeah, I mean that's the inner civil war that's happening first.
Yes.
With their own people. Give me Isaiah 19 real quick.
Gotcha.
And verse 2. Because that's the prophecy. Mm-hmm. All these Edomites, they about to fight each other.
Right.
And then they're gonna fight us. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna fight because they're the ones in power. They're all seeking to fight for the position of world rulership. So they want to sit on that power seat that Babylon has. The horde has been sitting on the power seat for a very long time, and now you have different European nations that's even looking at that. You know what I'm saying? All right.
19 and 19?
No, 19 and 2.
So book of Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2. Mm-hmm. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Is it talking about the ethnic Egyptians? No, because we know by way of prophecy, Deuteronomy 28 and 68 says that we shall go back to Egypt again in ships. By way thereof, I spake unto you, I shall see it no more again. So we know through the spirit that this is the modern day Egypt. All right, this is the spiritual and physical Egypt. Even the fact that, majority of these people that's in power in America is part of the Freemasonry, and majority of that Freemasonry started in Egypt. That was one of their religions. That was Osiris was the god of that religion. So I mean, there's so much parallels with Egypt back then and Egypt right now, to the point where you got people saying, "Oh, this is Egypt."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bugging out. But it's just a copycat of Egypt.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
God, Salaki, verse 2 again, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother.
They shall fight everyone against their brothers. That happened first in the Civil War. The Civil War, it was two brothers fighting over Jacob. That's all they was fighting over. That's why the Civil War even happened, because it was over us, what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Come, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
City against city, kingdom against kingdom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So eventually, all these people are going to fight, man, because they're the ones that's in power. Jake ain't in power. Yahushua going to have to come to put us on that power seat, right? And just to prove that real quick, I just want two scriptures. Give me Isaiah 47:1, then Isaiah 52.
Right? Book of Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1, and it reads, it's like, come down and sit in the dust.
Come down and sit in the dust. That's Babylon being brought down off the power seat,
yes,
and placed in his own confusion that he sent unto the world. Right. All right, go ahead.
And sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
Sit on the ground. There is no throne. She's missing her throne that she's usually superior on.
Right.
Go to Isaiah 52:1.
It's the book of Isaiah chapter 52 and verse 1.
Let's see who's going to be on the throne now that, according to prophecy, the Bible says that the whore of Babylon is placed off the throne and placed on the ground. Go ahead.
Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion.
Oh, who?
Put on thy strength, O Zion.
It's Zion. Go ahead.
Put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean.
Mm-hmm.
Shake thyself from the dust.
To do what?
Shake thyself from the dust.
Now we shaking ourselves from the dust, but the whore is coming down to the dust, right? So this is Esau, the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Right?
Come, arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive, daughter of Zion. For thus saith the Lord, ye have sold yourselves for naught, and ye shall be redeemed without money.
He shall be redeemed without money, man. All right, so yeah, you can get with that.
Come, sure. We're going to go back to 2nd Esdras, so we're going to get chapter 15, and we're going to read verse 9. It says, and therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail, through the blasting and hail, and with the fearful constellation. Right? So, I mean, we see plagues coming to Babylon. You know, one of the more mightier plagues that I seen hit Babylon was in Las Vegas when all of the locusts kind of took over Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? That was a mighty plague that the Most High put upon it. You know, and we're going to see actual plagues take place. We're going to see, you know, more diseases hit the earth. We're going to see, you know, and we know what they're plotting. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to see another shutdown. We're going to see, you know, people wearing masks again. You know what I'm saying? All of these things are going to come to pass. You know what I'm saying? But we are not to be fearful in these times of judgment. You know what I'm saying? So you got something?
Yeah, I just want to show all that focus.
Come. Bring that up.
No one can escape.
This is in Vegas.
A 24/7 onslaught of grasshoppers that really sticks with you. What? You're all covered in locusts. Wow. For many, the first impression felt downright biblical. A migrating horned bug so big, you could even see him from space. Experts say a soggy winter plus a mild spring made conditions perfect for the pattern-winged grasshopper.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's these are all previews of what's going to come on the massive fall.
So I'm gonna keep reading. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Right? So we're seeing a sedition amongst men. We're seeing a lot of people rising up in opposition towards Donald Trump, and the right wing, groups. You know what I'm saying? So, they have their protests going on right now. A lot of people are, anti-Trump. I just seen an article that said that Trump's, when they kind of check how people feel about them, what they say, like pretty much his polls, how people feel about him has hit the highest rank as far as negative is concerned.
Yeah,
negatively.
Most hated.
Yeah. Most hated person right now. You know what I'm saying? So, but you got something.
Yeah, I mean, they even had the No King March.
Yeah.
See, this is very close to the part. Yeah. The prophecy that says it should not regard kings nor princes. That's going into the fact that society is not dealing with the governments. We hear that all the time. We hear you go on these different social media. Everybody's going against the government. Why? Because the government they realizing the government has robbed them. The government has been in bed with some of the high-ranking bankers, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Rockefellers, right? So they know they're being bamboozled, so to speak. So Trump is stirring the pot up as well because he has his own agenda, right? So they know that. It's always, it goes back to the brothers fighting. It always goes back to the brothers fighting. It says, this is in the AI overview, it says, No Kings is a movement and a series of protests that took place across the United States on June 14, 2025, coinciding with a military parade in Washington, D.C. So the same day the military had their little parade, they came out with the No King protest, a No King march. So see that? So that and it's all shaping into the prophecies that the scriptures are saying. They're coming off the page.
Gone. So I'm gonna keep reading. It says 2 Esdras chapter 15 and verse 14. Mm-hmm. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. I think I read that part already. So I'm gonna drop down to verse 17 one more time. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. We see Donald Trump, and various times throughout, a president's, term, they put certain travel bans in certain areas for people not to be able to travel to. Trump has put travel bans on like 20 places. You know what I'm saying? At least, at minimum. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's gonna get worse when all hell breaks loose. You're gonna see, barriers being set up. You know what I'm saying? People, militarized. You know what I'm saying? Armies coming together. You know what I'm saying? Esau, they can't wait for this time. They can't wait for these moments.
They won't chaos.
Yeah, man. So Esau, especially them down south Edomites, they've been waiting to use these weapons and these guns. You know what I'm saying? So, but these things are going to come to pass for sure, man. And it says, one more time, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread for great tribulation. God, so we're going to see famine. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you're going to see the true nature of man. When famine happens and it's people are having to monitor how much they are eating in this time, because look, California is about to see a huge spike in gas prices real soon.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They said that was going to happen in July. We hadn't seen it just yet, but it's coming. And definitely by 2026, I think they said it's going to be like $8 a gallon. You know what I'm saying? People are not going to be able to afford and continue living in this way. You know what I'm saying? You got certain jobs. They always try to adjust the cost of living. They pay wages. But, I mean, everything just keeps going up more and more. You know, so we're going to see, you know, all-out chaos when, you know, when people are starving. Right. That's when people are going to be irrational in those times. So it's not going to be nothing for them to be like, hey, man, look, it's either me or you, man. I got to survive. And when that hunger seeps in and starts messing with their thoughts and their brain, hey, look, hey, we going in somebody else's house, neighbor's house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got something?
Yeah, nah, I mean, I recently did a video called Miracles in the Last Days.
Yeah.
And I spoke about various things on that, man. Like, those that really trust the Lord, man, we're gonna see those miracles if we are that number. You know, we see records of Elijah being fed by ravens, you know, fresh bread in the evening and in the morning. We see the disciples they escape out of prison by the way of the angels. You know, I mean, we see this. We see Daniel, you know, being delivered from the lion's den when it was fully ready to devour because it was hungry and starvation. We see these miracles that will happen to us if we do not lose heart. You know, woe to him that loses patience. All right.
So, yeah, we're gonna keep going because it's a lot for us to
yeah, we might not hit it all.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We're gonna try to keep going on this. So it says, verse 20, it says, behold, saith God, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun from the south, from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen. So will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. Thus saith the Lord God. Right, my right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon earth. Right, so the Most High is referencing all of the kingdoms, especially during that time of Esdras, who lived during the Persian Empire. You know what I'm saying, and the things that were going on historically during that time of events. So the Most High is going to bring judgment upon all these nations. All these nations have charges that's going to be brought upon them and read off, and then we're gonna know who's who, who's what. You know what I'm saying? In these times, in these days, and everything's going to be revealed.
Yeah. The Lord, the judge of the earth will judge the earth. All right.
Yes.
He's going to bring that type of judgment upon the nations, because just because you get away with stuff don't mean you got away with nothing. Bro. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get away with nothing. What makes you think you got away with it? And that's not just Esau. That's all the nations. Deuteronomy, or not Deuteronomy, but Psalms 83 lets us know. There's records in the spirit world, in the third heavens. There's records of all the acts of these nations that abuse the apple of the Lord's eye. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 20. And we can start at verse 13. Also like verse 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yahweh, and the books were open. And another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. Right? So, I mean, we seen time after time, you know, in court, you had, you know, different jakes. They get a sentence that don't even exist in their life expects. You know what I'm saying? They just they call it throw the book. They use a term called throw the book at you. You don't think the Most High gonna throw the book at you, Esau? All right, absolutely he is, man. The book is about to be thrown, and it starts with us, man. The opening of the scriptures and the understanding of the scriptures is causing condemnation upon this evil man and upon all those that walk with the evil man. All right, one more precept. So, the books is being open right now. As soon as the prophets and the servants of the Lord and even our sisters start to obey the Most High, hey, the books start to be open. Judgment is being placed, and the court is in session through the spirit of Mashiach Yahushua. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 6 and verse, let's see here, and verse 20. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away, which this world, right? You got the old world before the times of Noah. Then you got in the times of Noah, or after the times of Noah, which is the world we live in. And then you got the world to come, which is the world of Yahushua and the world of the elect, right? It says, and when, it says, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The books, the books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. Right? Like the Akim was saying, man, and we're gonna see clear who's our enemy. It ain't gonna be hidden. You ain't gonna know, oh, well, maybe he's kind of nice. No, you're gonna know exactly, and we're gonna be all over there, all in the spirit world, or in the spirit realm, spiritually speaking. Hey, judging all the heathens, man. Matter of fact, 1 Corinthians chapter 6 as well. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, I'll yield with that. Right? The Lord gonna give us power to judge these heathen nations. And that's why it's so important. That's why the brother put 2nd Esdras chapter 6, 8 to 13. Absolutely, King. You know what I'm saying? First Esdras chapter 6. Yeah, so we see. We'll go ahead and bring that up. 1 Corinthians.
Chapter 6 and what?
1. Each other 1.
Con, this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 1. Dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust and not before the saints?
Go to law before the unjust, not. And that's the condemnation on the saints today that want to go to these different heathens or, expose brothers on social media when you got a bunch of heathens, just staring us down, drooling for us to fall. The Lord said, man, hey, how dare you, man? We don't need to be doing that, man. The heathens don't do that. The East Indian keeps all his business in his house, his race, his rasta, right? But we don't for some reason. Keep reading.
Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
That the saints will what?
That the saints shall judge the world.
I'm gonna get the power to judge the. If the Most High give us the authority to judge the world, man, we shouldn't be acting like no kids in these last days. He said, she said, all that should be dead right now through the Spirit, because He's gonna give us the power to judge the whole entire earth, man. Not the on Friday, not the city, but the world, friend. It's real. You know what I'm saying? Not the city, but the world, man. And that world starts with Israel. That's gonna dwindle down to all the heathen nations. But
Con, is that it on that? Or you on?
No, yeah, that's it. That's fine.
Con, I got one precept real fast. It says, 2nd Esdras chapter 6 and verse 13. For it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. For not as with other nations whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish till they be come to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us. Right? So the Most High is patiently waiting to bring judgment upon the other nations. This is why he doesn't judge them instantly or right away. And this is why they feel like they can get away with everything.
Right.
Because the Most High has allowed an extensive amount of time go by without giving them judgment for what they've done. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to find an article. I can't even find it right now. But it was an East Indian woman in Mississippi. She was maybe a part of some prosecution team, or she was just like within the. She was in a position of being able to convict black men. Mm. She falsely convicted over 1,000 black men in Mississippi. And
Kamala Harris, she got
she has
the exact same thing, man, and she didn't.
Yeah. And that's why you have that brother from Frisco, Jamal Truelove. He won a $10 million settlement when he got out because he was falsely convicted. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, it says it is a token of God's goodness when evildoers are not punished right away, right? So this is verse 15. It says, lest that being come to the height of sin, and this coincides with what it says in Revelation, where it says, their sins have reached unto heaven.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So their sins are going to hit a certain pinnacle, in the earth, and the Most High is going to be like, that's enough. Yahweh Shai, go redeem my people.
Redeem my people.
Yeah.
We need redemption, man.
Right.
And like I said, this is why John the Revelator was crying.
Yeah.
He seen the hopelessness. Like, man, if we ain't got Yahweh Shai, man, we all through, man.
Yeah.
He seen nothing but death and destruction.
And this is why, again, this is why the 10 tribes are kind of going through what they're going through.
Yeah.
A lot of them think that this is heaven. You know what I'm saying? America is heaven. You're seeing,
Promised land.
Yeah, them not wanting to go back to Honduras or, Mexico, wherever the case may be. We're seeing videos of them being snatched up and, families is being rattled. But, I mean, you got to get uncomfortable in Babylon, man.
Got to get uncomfortable.
This is not our home. This is not our resting place, man. We don't want to thrive. We don't want to make it out here. We want to see this place destroyed, and we want to be put back in our homeland. You know what I'm saying? So it says, lest that being come to the height of sin, afterwards he should take vengeance of us, and therefore he never withdraweth his mercy from us. And though he punish us with adversity, yet doeth he never forsake his people. Right? So the Most High never forsakes us, man. You know what I'm saying? Even though through all the hell we go through, the trials and afflictions and persecutions, the Most High never forsakes us. So we always got to keep that in mind, man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have the eternal blessing. Esau has the temporary. We got the eternal. Right.
Yeah.
So
so when you catching hell, you gotta remember 1 Peter 4 and 12.
Yeah.
Think it's not strange, man. When you going through fiery trials, man.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of strange things that be happening to the chosen people.
Right.
Don't think it's strange though.
Yeah, you gotta rejoice. Even as Yahweh Shai talks about in 1 Peter 4. Yahweh Shai went through these same persecutions. You know what I'm saying? So we got to go through that same affliction.
Yep.
God, would you get it or not?
I just want to pull this out real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 4. Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame. For thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shall not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore. See, we ain't gonna remember our widow. We in the state of our widowhood right now. When we was in slavery, that's the where it says but to push us like it said, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth. What's the shame of our youth? And when we was in slavery, man, he said we're gonna forget that. We're gonna forget those days. We're not gonna be mentioning Deuteronomy 28, 15 on down no more, man. We're gonna be mentioning, Deuteronomy 28, 1 to 14, man. And stop right there. Bless coming in and bless coming out. Yeah.
That's it.
It says, reproach of thy widowhood anymore, for thy maker is thy husband, and the Lord of hosts is his name.
Yeah, we're gonna pick back up in 2 Esdras chapter 15 and verse 24. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments. Christians out there, saith the Lord, I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children from the power. Defile not my sanctuary. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For God shall not deliver you because ye have sinned against him. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmenians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. So when you read in verse 29 and verse 30, the dragons of Arabia is talking about the Arab nations. Now, historically, they've had many wars. years. You know what I'm saying? We can go into the Islamic conquest, you know what I'm saying, during the time of Muhammad. And when they were struggling for power of which so-called religion is going to be the dominant one, Christianity and Islam. You know what I'm saying? You can fast forward to, because it also says the Carmenians. Now, when you read up on the Carmenians is the Iran, the ancient Persians. Huh?
And even during the Dark Ages, you had the Caliphate versus some of the Christian groups fighting over Jerusalem.
Right.
Yeah,
this is why you see a lot of Arab countries within Europe now. You know what I'm saying? And this is why you see a mix of Arabs looking white people. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, it says, and then historically, one of the bigger wars was during the 70s. You had the Arab and Iraqi war from 1980 through 1988, right? So let me get this real quick. I just want to point out some key points. You know what I'm saying? Some key things from those wars. 1 second, unless you got something, let me find it real fast.
Yeah, so this is why it's important to break down all the scriptures, precept upon precept, build a foundation. And Lord willing, we can go into more chapters, go into more breakdowns through the spirit of Mashiach.
And this is why now you see a lot of Iranians who are Muslims now. You know what I'm saying? Because they when you read it on Esther, they had a lot of provinces. You can find that precept. But I'm gonna read this right here. It says, yes, there have been several wars between the Arab states and Iran throughout history. The most recent and notable example is the Iran-Iraqi war from 1980 through 1988. Right. So now, at one point in time, Iran was much like America in the fact that they, allowed their women to dress, promiscuous, if that's the word I'm looking for, or and then they made movies and TV shows. They had an attitude in the spirit that was very much American. You know what I'm saying? But the Arab countries, and you look today, they have a strong Arab Union. You know what I'm saying? Just like they got the EU, the European Union, they have the Arab Union. You know what I'm saying? Where the Arabs are coming together in these last days. You know what I'm saying? So now they didn't like the fact that Iran was operating in an American way, and they wasn't going for that. This is why. That's a picture of Iranians.
Yeah.
Yeah, and show this picture right quick, man. This is how they was moving in those times, in the 70s. So the Arabs didn't like that. They said, hell no, we're not allowing our, any area near us, you know what I'm saying, to be Americanized. We're not allowing our people to be Americanized. So that is what led to the Iran and Iraqi war.
And Salakis, you can tell they were getting influenced by Judah as well.
Yeah, go closer to it because I can't see it.
Yeah.
It's gonna show you up. Okay, there you go.
That's Iranians.
Yeah, that's crazy. Exactly. So and then just to point out something else, it says that in the 1970s, Iran, under the rule of Shah Mohammad Reza, experienced a period of rapid modernization and economic growth, fueled by oil wealth and close ties with the United States, similar to some aspects of American society in the 1970s. However, this modernization also led to social inequalities and political tensions, ultimately contributing to the Iranian Revolution of 1979. Right. So, and just certain things to point out as well as it talks about the economic growth and modernization, close ties with the United States, social change and discontent. The differences was political systems, social structures, religious influence, key events: 1973 Iran's oil boom, the 1979 revolution, Iran hostage crisis. These are all things that took place during that time. You know what I'm saying? And this is why now Iran is just mostly Muslim. You know what I'm saying? And they are not entertaining anything that is in any way, shape, or form American. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's spiritual because that's exactly what the synagogue of Satan did.
Yeah.
Back in the Dark Ages. You know what I'm saying? There was a king named Bulan who was a Khazarian king, and he converted his whole nation to follow the Torah and be so-called Jews.
Yeah. Yeah, and this we're back in 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 31. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand. And we see that again. The Arabs are dominating. You know what I'm saying? They have the upper hand because they have so many countries that are a part of the Arab Union, right? And it says, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. So they're going to remember their nature. Genesis 16 and 12 talks about, you know what I'm saying, how Ishmael is a wild man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Ishmael is the only one that did not fully get subjugated by the Europeans.
Right.
That's why they call it a holy war. You know what I'm saying?
What's that? Genesis
16 what?
16 and 12? Yeah.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 16 and verse 12.
Uh-huh.
And he will be a wild man.
What is Ishmael?
And he will be a wild man.
What's the Arabs?
And he will be a wild man.
Uh-huh.
His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him.
Right. And his hand is against every man. You know?
And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brothers.
Hey, and see, this is where the confusion comes in a lot of time with the blessing of everybody being saved. This is his blessing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He had 12 princes, Ishmael, 12 sons, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 12 princes. And he's dwelling only solely amongst his brethren. That's their blessing. They don't get salvation. That is their blessing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's their blessing. Yeah, Esau was blessed with the sword, and the sword got him the earth.
Yeah. And he has all his lands intact. Esau hasn't been able to, he's trying to seduce the people as best as he can. Mm-hmm. The Arabs that do come over here, they give into the spirit, you know what I'm saying, of the American way and the American dream. But nonetheless, he is a wild man. He's going to remember his true nature. We haven't seen him pop off, you know what I'm saying, like he used to in the 90s and the early 2000s. You know, Ishmael used to go off, man. He's had his moments in certain key points throughout the last 25 years, but he hasn't really, tapped back into his true nature, man. But we're going to see that, man. Huh?
And another thing to, speak on Northern Kingdom, like, look what Esau do. He feeds you his philosophies, his benefits, and all that. And then after he's done with you, he throws you back to wherever you your people from, so-called. That's what he do. Like majority of Northern Kingdom, they've been here for 30. They're picking up people that've been here for 30 years.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, you gonna let me set up a whole system in a house and family and kids. I see this mighty Northern Kingdom man. He said, "Hey, I'm gonna go back. I'm not even gonna let them cats pick me up." You know what I'm saying? That was a mighty. Let me see if I can find that.
Yeah, I got something.
Yeah.
So this is how messed up Arabs are becoming here in America. Now this is crazy. Check this out, man. I see this big old Arab man in a dress. Oh, look at that, man. Singing in the crowd or just talking to the people. It's at a Palestine protest. Look at this dude, man. All effeminate. The dude is like 6'4". He got heels on. You know what I'm saying? Got a full court beard. You know what I'm saying? With the bust down hair. And put on his mama's old gown after she died, man. You know what I'm saying? And look, ancestors rolling over in their graves right now. Looking at this dude. You know what I'm saying?
They also drop, because you got other radical ones, more radical.
Right.
They had this huge flag that they dropped down somewhere in New York on a New York building, and it had the president of Iran picture, and it said the supreme leader.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find that. That was cool. Like, it just shows you even citizens in Babylon is bucking up against Babylon, man. Like the scripture said it would, man.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find that.
So again, man, yeah, they definitely have a history, man. The Arabs and the all of the evil that they've done to our people, man. You know what I'm saying? They're in the sub-Saharan slave trade, so come on, man, but I'm gonna keep going until you find that. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 32. Then these shall be troubled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them. And in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. They shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star, and blood shall be from the sword unto the belly. Right? So, and this is talking about the nuclear wars that we're getting ready to see, the missiles that are being launched right now. It said that, and the stars represent missiles. We're gonna show you that. You got the bring out first. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this is in New York, and this is almost like declaring war on American soil, because America never really had an international war from different nations coming here and invading this place, which is why they call it the Virgin Daughter of Babylon.
Untouched.
Untouched. So it's going down all over, even in the American soil, man.
No, yeah, sure, man. So we see what was taking place, but I'm gonna read this one more time. It says 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 34. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. They shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star, and blood shall be from the sword unto the belly. So we've seen wars escalate between Iran and Israel as of recently. America jumping in there and dropping off bombs on the nuclear plants of Iran, albeit them saying that they removed all of their major, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, they moved all of their nuclear capabilities into another spot prior to that happening. You know what I'm saying? So Trump sitting here talking about how successful it was, you know what I'm saying, when they destroyed it. But they just really didn't destroy nothing. It was just a place where they held all of their stuff, which wasn't there anymore. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, you know, you got them talking, they had the Golden Dome getting shot through, you know what I'm saying? And some of Israel was able to intercept some of the missiles that Iran sent their way. You know what I'm saying? So they, you know, you got people, they shooting down their own stars, you know what I'm saying? Not even realizing it's the missile that they sent off. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, and we're going to show you that clouds and stars represent missiles in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So you got a precept?
Yeah, God. This is Revelations chapter 6 and verse 12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And that mighty wind is nuclear war. Because when a nuke blasts, it's that nuclear wind that brings massive destruction even before the fire comes. So when it says that mighty wind, is talking about war, right? When it gets to the stars, it says, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, right? You got to go back into the mind of John the Revelator, what he was seeing. What we see today, when you see Iran shooting, 300 missiles all at once, it looked like stars is falling down from heaven. This is what John seen. He seen that. He said, man, these are stars. I can't describe what this is because missiles didn't exist at that time. You know what I'm saying? So he says when he seen stars fall from heaven, he know what he was looking at. He was looking at missiles, but he couldn't interpret, because most of the prophets couldn't interpret when they was writing. Majority of the stuff that was written, it wasn't in their time. Let me bring this last precept out real quick. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Look what Paul says. And Paul was a prophet. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 12. Well, we can go to 9. For we know in part, and we prophesied in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away with. Verse 12. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as I am known. Right? So Paul's even saying, man, like, I don't know everything. The stuff I'm writing down, but I can't fully interpret because it's not in my time. Most of the prophets, whatever they wrote, it wasn't in their time. So they just had to use stuff that they did, that stuff that they can recognize and kind of bring it as close as possible to describe what they were seeing in the future, which is in our times.
Come, man. So I got a couple precepts. This is Psalms chapter 104 and verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind, who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire. So these UFOs that Esau and the government is exposing that exists, you know, these are the chariots of the Most High God. These are the vehicles that the angels are driving in. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and oftentimes you'll see clouds in the Bible, and that's actually in reference towards a chariot. And even then, Yahushua is referenced to be coming back on a cloud. We read that in Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. So how do we know that it's referring to a chariot? Well, we read about his after he passed and he came to visit, you know, the people in Acts chapter 1 and verse 6 on down. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get that real fast before I
shout out to the Akim Julamaya too.
Come. This is Acts chapter 1 and verse 6. It says, when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power, but ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is come upon you. And ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him.
And a what?
And a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, right? And it, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Right. So, and then, you know, you remember the times in Kings, which Elijah saw a fire of chariots. You know what I'm saying? And I have one more precept to go with it. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 5. So again, sometimes the clouds can be referenced towards the chariots. Sometimes the clouds and or stars can be referenced towards the missiles.
Yeah, like mushroom
clouds. And then sometimes it can be referenced towards the armies of these nations going to war with each other. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I have that example right here in 2 Maccabees chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, about the same time Antiochus prepared his second voyage into Egypt, and then it happened that through all the city for the space almost of 40 days there were seen horsemen running in the air in cloth of gold and armed with lances like a band of soldiers, and troops of horsemen in array and encountering and running one against another with shaking of shields and multitude of pikes and drawing of swords and casting of darts and glittering of golden ornaments and harness of all sorts. Wherefore every man prayed that the apparition might turn to good, right? So you talking about for the space of 40 days, you know, they just saw chariots fighting, you know what I'm saying, going back and forth in the airs. And instead horsemen, they used the word horseman. Now, why are they using horsemen? Because in ancient times, the horse was the vehicle for people.
That was the power. That was the strength.
That was the power. That was the strength. And what do they have in actual vehicles? They call it horsepower, the engines.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that is letting you know right there that, but he is speaking it in an ancient terminology, but it's giving you, you know, well, this ain't particular prophet. This is talking about an historical event that took place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, the horseman is referring, we could also reference it towards, the helicopters that we see. You know what I'm saying? When they America just unleashed one of the little thin, that's how they dropped the bomb off in Iran.
Yeah.
It looked like a little arrow, like a little thin old plate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the horsemen, that's the chariots, that's
I mean, they got a bomb called Moab.
Right. Mother of all bombs.
The mother of all bombs.
Right.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up, man. That's why you have to use spiritual on this. You have to compare spiritual things with spiritual. You gotta look at everything. Everything is spiritual, man. Everything is spiritual.
Wow. God, I'm gonna keep going to 2nd Esdras, back at chapter 15. It says, verse 38, and then shall there come great storms from the south and from the north, and another part from the west, and strong winds shall arise from the east, and shall open it, and the cloud which he raised up in wrath, and the star stirred to cause fear toward the east and west wind shall be destroyed. The great and mighty cloud shall be lifted up full of wrath, and the star, that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they shall pour out over every high and eminent place an horrible star. Right? You want to talk about the wormwood real quick?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's going into like one of those nuclear destructions, man. When the nukes, you got ballistic missiles, and then you got, like, for instance, Russia or Putin, whatever. He got something called Satan 1 and Satan 2, and we kind of got into that. That's a super ballistic missile, man. And these things, if you can show anything on the ballistic missiles, okay. So, matter of fact, this find something on Russia, power of Satan 1. I think I put it out before, but yeah, hey man, there's gonna be a nuclear war. That's one thing that never happened upon the earth, a nuclear war. Why is the Lord using these men to create these type of bombs? Because if you go back to the times of Noah, he judged the whole entire earth through water. But the scripture says he's going to judge the earth, or the people of the earth, through fire, man, to purify. It purified, the earth got purified in the times of Noah, which is the first death. It got purified by water. The second will be purified by fire, which is the second death. All right. That's why he says, as the days of Noah, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. All right, go ahead.
Don, it says, here's a breakdown of the power and capabilities of the Russian RS-28 Sarmat intercontinental ballistic missile, nicknamed Satan 2.
Satan 2.
Yeah. Don, it says destructive potential. It can reportedly carry multiple warheads.
So now you gotta really hear what he's saying. It can hold multiple warheads. That means multiple missiles.
Yeah.
That one nuke got multiple missiles in it. Yeah. Right? You had now some of the creators of these missiles was Oppenheimer, and even Einstein. He was able to split the atom to, kind of cause these nuclear warheads that they dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, this thing been going on. The Lord's been stirring these people, and you got to think about it. There's got to be a damn expiration date. So these nukes got to be used, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yeah. No, it says up to 16 independently targetable nuclear warheads or 3 Avangard hypersonic glide vehicles. I'm gonna drop down to this one. It says the RS-28 Sarmat is capable of delivering warheads 2,000 times as powerful as the atom bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. 2,000 times as more powerful.
2,000 times is more powerful.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's super wild.
Yeah,
because the Lord is going to judge this place. Fire, man. Fire must come in through the Spirit.
So I'm going to read this right quick. This is Revelation chapter 8, verse 11. It says, and the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter, right? So now, what is this wormwood? Let me get the definition for it, right? So it says, and this is in the Greek, Strong's G894, it says wormwood as a type of bitterness, right? It says poisonous. It says the name of a star which fell into the waters and made them bitter, right? So, and if you ever look up the effects of a nuclear war, like say the nuclear missile hits one particular area, it can spread all the way to like 5,000, maybe even up to 10,000 miles from where it hit. You know what I'm saying? But that nuclear effects, this is why they, Russia, they've given their citizens certain medicines to take in case of a nuclear explosion if it takes place in their land. You know what I'm saying? So that the nuclear, it can do a lot of damage. You know what I'm saying, to your mental health. You know what I'm saying? It can just destroy your whole mind. You know what I'm saying? And America did some tests on the Chinese people. I want to say like back in the 70s or something like that, or maybe a little earlier than that. But they did some tests. This is why China still has animosity towards America. That's part of the reason. You know what I'm saying? Is America doing their little experiments over in certain areas. So, but nonetheless, hey, this is, that's going to be that star that kind of does that damage, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Once that is let off from the earth, that's going to be that star.
It's that bitter,
right?
Bitter time, man.
And this is also how we know that these are talking about missiles. Verse 41, fire and hail and flying swords.
Flying swords.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's not talking about a literal sword, just somebody throwing it all the way up. No, it's not talking about that. It's talking about missiles, man. You know what I'm saying? So it says, and flying swords and many waters, that all fields may be full and all rivers with the abundance of great waters. And they shall break down the cities and walls and mountains and hills, trees of the wood and grass of the meadows and their corn. And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid. They shall come to her and besiege her. The star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and smoke go up into the heaven. And all they that be about her shall bewail her. And they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear. Right? So, and this is Babylon's destruction right here. This is the great whore being destroyed. This is that whore finally, getting touched, or that whore that, has masqueraded herself as being a virgin. You know what I'm saying? But yet she's getting with every, Tom, Dick, and Harry. You know what I'm saying? Meaning she's committing spiritual fornication with all of these different countries and these different nations. Right. America has committed spiritual fornication with, every place. You know what I'm saying? They have their U.S. embassies in all across all continents. They might not be, deep off into, China, but they got Taiwan for that. You know what I'm saying? Which is still Chinese territory. You know what I'm saying? They may not be, up in Russia like that, but that's why they had Ukraine, U.S. embassy over there. You know what I'm saying? They're going over Israel. Yeah, Israel. You know what I'm saying? So they have a specific agenda to completely take over. And the white man is hell bent on that. You know what I'm saying? But now they know that their numbers are dwindling in the earth, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, and even that one popular white woman that used to go to schools to speak, and so she used to talk about Jane. She talked about how white people, white genes are recessive, white eyes, skin, and all of that. She spoke about how, as time goes on, the more you lack in melanin, the more you're going to be likely to die off. And how she talked about her own race. They're going to be seeking how, to intermingle with other groups so that they can continue on for a little longer. Yeah. And this is, it kind of plays off into the whole movie of Get Out, because they wanted the melanin. You know what I'm saying? They wanted the mind of the Negro. They still want the white dominance, the white supremacy thoughts. You know what I'm saying? But if they can have your physical capabilities, right. You know what I'm saying? If they can have your skin tone, hey, they feel like they can live forever, right? Included with the AI technology. You know what I'm saying? So
I go out, man. We need help, man. We need help more on hard, man. The stuff that these devils is cooking in their laboratories, man. Right. It's all sorcery and witchcraft, man.
Yeah. Hey,
by
look,
the multitude of thy sorcery.
no, for real. Hey, look, man, real quick. I went into that chicken spot in downtown LA about 2 weeks ago, right? It's called Fixins. It was created by a former NBA player, Kevin Johnson, played with the Phoenix Suns. He was the mayor of Sacramento. He probably still is at this point, I'm not sure. But he he first opened it in Sacramento, and then he opened another one some years back in downtown LA. And I went in there, and I kid you not, I walked in there, and it was none but black people. Everybody laughing, eating chicken. And it reminded me of they clone Tyrone. If you ever seen that movie, and you see Jamie Foxx's character and the brother and the sister, they all are, they in there eating chicken. And then Jamie realizes, like, hold up, everybody in here just laughing and having a good old Negro time eating chicken. You know what I'm saying? But they was putting something in the chicken. And we seen how our people reacted to, the chicken sandwich and Popeyes and all of that. But that just tripped me out. And I'm not exaggerating when I say I walked in there and everybody was laughing, eating, like, bro, it was good. I ain't even gonna lie. I had it. It was good. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Hey, Esau be in them laboratories, man. And real quick, let me get this real fast. I think it's in second Esdras. Like first Esdras. But you got it, King. You got something.
Yeah, man. Like the brother was saying, so-called, white man and his race, hey, their genes and their seed is dwindling, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's actually a prophecy real quick. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus says the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made you small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Right? So, the Lord even prophesied that their numbers are going to dwindle, man. And they always been dwindled. There was never the dominant popular race. It was the so-called melanated people of the world, the indigenous people of the world, that was more so the majority, but they made themselves the majority. When the scripture says that they're small among the heathens, if you get every Edomite all together and match it with all the melanated people of the earth, hey, they're gonna be outrun. So they had to use deception in order to captivate and subjugate people.
For real. Hey, this is first Esdras, or it's second Esdras, chapter 8 and verse 27. Regard not the wicked inventions of the heathen, but the desire of those that keep thy testimonies in afflictions. Think not upon those that have walked faintly before thee, but remember them which according to thy will have known thy fear. Let it not be thy will to destroy them which have lived like beasts, but to look upon them that have clearly taught thy law. Right? So, and we know who's living like beasts. We know who the beast of Revelation is referring to. You know what I'm saying? And this is a twofold level. On one hand, it is referring to Israel. On another, it is referring to the heathen, the actual heathen. You know what I'm saying? So it's a double fold. But unless you got something else,
I got a precept for that. Because, hey, it's the wisdom of the Most High that makes us alive. Outside of that, hey, you a beast, man.
Yeah.
You got a beast spirit. You move
fleshly. That's a beast-like, spirit.
Beast spirit, man. You move in the same mannerisms of a beast. All right, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 20.
18
verse 18. I said unto my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that Yahweh might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, we seen it throughout time. Even Nebuchadnezzar was made a beast. He had a beast-like spirit. The Lord took the glory, the radiance, the power from him, and made him a beast in his own kingdom. And that's what he's going to do to Esau, but it ain't going to be in his kingdom, it's going to be in ours.
One more on that. This is Psalms chapter 49 and verse 20. Man that is in honor and understandeth not is like the beasts that perish. You know what I'm saying? So if, a man that is in honor, but he doesn't have any understanding, You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the knowledge, wisdom, and precepts of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? You're like the beast that perish. You know what I'm saying? A simple, dumb animal that's just, dies. You know what I'm saying? A creature on the earth. And that's what you like. So going back to 2nd Esdras chapter 15, and we're going to get verse 45. And it says, and they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear. And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her, that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore saith God, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. And the glory of thy power shall be dried up as flour, when the heat shall arise that is sent over thee. Right? And in Asia, this obviously in reference towards who is the superpower that likens himself and that is in competition with America, man. And who people are oftentimes saying is the next superpower.
Yep.
I say China all the time, man. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And if you look at Japan as well, they make themselves allies with America since that World War II. You know what I'm saying? They just said, no, we're just going to be friends with them. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have close ties and connections with them. And they made themselves like unto Babylon, but more so specifically China. You know what I'm saying? When you look in terms of technology and how advanced they are as a civilization, they're a lot further advanced technically wise. You know what I'm saying? Technology wise. China's way more advanced, man. Their train systems, be it to their technology, like deeper. You got something. I see you pull something up on China.
No.
Watch, I'm gonna pull this up.
Yeah. Yeah, but even the fact that they're considered like the minority example or something. They're like the head of what a minority supposed to be like. You know what I'm saying? And they get a lot of honor. It says the glory of Babylon. I mean, they help Babylon as well. Outside of them, getting over on Babylon, and they help Babylon. They are the washpot that the scriptures talk about. I mean, there's multiple things that talk about, the prophecies of Asia, and things of that nature. You got
God, yeah. So it says China has made significant advancements in various technological fields, including AI, robotics, quantum computing, 5G and 6G telecommunications, and electric vehicles. That was one of the things that I seen recently on China was the electric vehicles and how far advanced it is compared to American cars. Right? It says the country is actively pursuing indigenous innovation and has become a global leader in several areas, particularly in AI and its applications. So some of the things it says: artificial intelligence, right? Robotics, quantum computing, 5G and 6G telecommunications, electric vehicles, space exploration, other notable areas. I mean, just think about, I want to say it was like last year or the year before, China unveiled their own sun. You know what I'm saying? They unveiled their own sun, and they can cause it to be day in the nighttime.
Yeah.
In certain areas over there. So that's the type of stuff that they're working on, which is, straight madness, right? So, but this is why the Most High is saying they've made themselves like unto Babylon, because America and Esau have the desire to sit in the position of the Most High God.
Yeah.
They have that desire to monitor the people, know all their inner thoughts. This is why they do want to merge man with AI. You know what I'm saying? They do want to put, a chip inside the minds of people and be able to control and alter people's behaviors. And even then, they have, I think they're going to offer in certain inmates the opportunity to get out, even those that have life. But they would have to comply and accept a chip being put in their minds. And they're going to be pretty much able to have control of them. You know what I'm saying? So that once they get out, that they're not committing crimes. That was something that I've seen recently too. I've seen it before, but I've seen it again just like a couple of days ago.
And that's not the mark of the beast.
Yeah, it's not the mark. The mark is much deeper than that.
Yeah, it's all everything in this man's system.
Yeah.
You know, if you put it in a nutshell.
Right.
Because it's all satanic and demonic.
Right. Absolutely. Because you got to ask yourself too. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the mark. You know what I'm saying? What's the name? How they gonna put the name on it?
Right.
So you got to accept the name of the beast and the number of his name. Where those things gonna be implemented? How do you receive those things? Right? You got something?
Oh yeah, I just want to kind of go through because Isaiah 14 it talks about the dominion of Esau as well. Real quick, it says Isaiah 14:9, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. Right, so hell meaning destruction is going to meet this man's coming, man. Just like Yahushua, like we ready to meet Yahushua, his coming. So we're preparing for, destruction is preparing the same way for this man, right? It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirs up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. That's all these different nations rising up against Esau and all his kingdoms. It has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Right? So all the nations, they see the weakness of Babylon right now. When in the past, they know that everybody knew on the earth that this man was a strong nation. And not just this specific nation, but all the Europeans. You know?
Oh.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. God, we're going to continue on in 2nd Esdras chapter 15, and we're going to read verse 48. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore saith God, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. And the glory of thy power shall be dried up as flour, when the heat shall arise that is sent over thee. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee. What I with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, saith the Lord, if thou hadst not always slain my chosen, exalting the stroke of thine hands, and saying over their dead, when thou wast drunken, set forth the beauty of thy countenance. The reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom. Therefore shalt thou receive recompense. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall God do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in thy field. Right? So, in essence, the Most High is saying this is going to happen to Asia, Babylon, and all the nations. You know what I'm saying? This is when Israel is going to ransack, all of these other places. You know what I'm saying? This is why he said in Jeremiah chapter 51, I'm going to get there real quick. You got something here?
Yeah, Khan. And I just want to further read this. It says, verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? Who weakened the nations? Who weakened the nations, man? Who brought all the nations down to follow their philosophies and their ways? Well, let's find out. It says right here, for thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Right? So when you just see this, it says, for thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. Right? We know that, man, them cats went up into heaven. They said it did. He said it in his heart. He imagined and created a whole show to have you believe that they actually went up into the sky and said the eagle has landed. Esau has landed on the moon, right? But it's showing the history right here that that's not so. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, which is the government of the Lord, us. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation, the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, man. And that ascend of the heights of the clouds, hey, it's dealing with the airplanes and those fire jets. The airplane, all the way, I think it was created in 1919, I believe, or maybe further down, 1902, something like that. So, and with the Wright brothers that created it, so, and who was that? It was Edomites. So, it just shows who run this earth for the naysayers. So the Bible says Esau is the end of the world, and who runs it? But
it's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms, and with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. Right? So, hey, look, and it's going to come a time where Russia, China, and all of their allies that destroyed America, they're going to come at the children of Israel.
Yep.
We're going to be placed back, I'm saying, in the wilderness, I'm saying, at home, I'm saying, and then they're going to come at us. I'm saying, but Yahushua is going to take care of that. Hey, look, and then we're going to get them in line.
Hey, Valley of Jehoshaphat.
We're going to break them down in that moment, man.
Right.
You got it?
Yeah, Ezekiel 38 and verse 8. It says, verse 5. It says, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them all of them with shields and helmets, Gomor and all his bands, the house of Tomar of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to the cover of the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Yeah, man, that's going to. And while we in the land of Israel, is decimated, it's destroyed, But hey, the people's coming back to heal the land, because you gotta have the right people to have the land really healed, man.
Yeah.
So at that time, it's gonna be unwatered fences. No walls, none of that, just Israel there. And then that's when the Most High gonna put an evil spirit on Russia and all these other armies to come at us. As the scripture said, where's that at? Evil. Here you go. Oh, here you go. Verse 10. It says, thus says the Lord God, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think in evil thoughts. So they're going to think an evil thought upon the children of Israel, because they know we the ones that's close to the power seat at that time. Why you think you had them Israelite officials coming to America talking about us, right? The greatest problem that Israel has is not Hamas, not Iran. And she said the greatest problem is the Israelites, man. That's the real Israelites.
The black youth.
The black youth.
God, hey, this is Isaiah chapter 11 and verse 14. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west. They shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. And the Lord shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, And with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the 7 streams, and make men go over dry shod. And there shall be an highway for the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, like as it was to Israel in the day that he came up out of the land of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, that's the judgment that the Most High is going to bring upon the heathen, man. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like it was with David. David was checking all the nations, man, during war. I mean, it was so much. He was subjugating everybody, man. Everybody got work, man. You know what hey, man, he was slaughtering tons of nations. Moab got it. Ammon got it. You know what I'm saying? Esau definitely got it. Amalek, grandson of Esau, got it. So hey, that's how it's gonna be, man. But we're gonna close it out in 2nd Esdras chapter 15, and then we'll get some closing precepts. I'm gonna just read this all the way down.
Yeah.
So it says 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and 58. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. Thou as unhappy shalt come through the sea and receive plagues again. And in the passage, they shall rush on the idol city and shall destroy some portion of thy land, and consume part of thy glory, and shall return to Babylon that was destroyed. And thou shalt be cast down by them as stubble, and they shall be unto thee as fire, and shall consume thee in thy cities. Thy land and thy mountains, all thy woods, and thy fruitful trees shall they burn up with fire. Thy children shall they carry away captive, and look what thou hast. They shall spoil it and mar the beauty of thy face. That's beautiful. Yeah, so mar the beauty of thy face. The Chinese president was bragging about how they've been here for 5,000 years, and they're gonna be here for another 5,000 years. Man. That's what they said. So, hey, the Most High said we're gonna mar the beauty of thy face, man. You know what I'm saying? You thinking you the next virgin daughter that that's gonna take over?
Right.
You made yourself a partaker of Babylon. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, there ain't gonna be no more a Moabite version of a Babylon princess.
And they already had it through Genghis Khan.
Yeah, man.
They already the Lord is so gracious. He literally gave every nation an empire and a kingdom to rule in a specific time.
Yeah.
And he just kept switching it up until the final last kingdom, which was the kingdom of Esau. Why? Because Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning that follows, man.
You got to close the precept?
Yeah, Khan. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse because he was going on to the Lord gonna give work to all these nations.
Yeah.
Verse 11. It's Jeremiah 30 and 11. For I am with you, said the Lord, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee, yet I will not make a full end of you. That's the Most High saying, look, I'm gonna put my work in on all these nations that have assaulted the apple of the Lord's eye. Everywhere they scattered at, that was not just a test for us, but that was also a test for all these heathens that received us. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Lord says, rejoice, O you heathens, man, with thy people. He said, rejoice in the time of your heaven, rejoice with my people, because it's going to come a time where I'm going to put an end and a rest to all those that have bruised my people. Right? It says, one more. It says, and I will say thee, says the Lord, to save, and I am with thee, said the Lord, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee. Yet I will not make a full end of you, but I will correct thee in measure. And that's the 2/3, man. The 2/3 of Israel, the wicked jakes that hates the laws and statutes and commandments of the Most High, that love to smoke weed, love to have sex all day, love to be Negroes, love to be Hispanics, love to be Native Indians, love to be everything but the child of the Most High. Yeah, the Lord, he said he's going to correct you in numbers. All right, 2/3, man, that's half of the pot. It says, but I will correct thee in measure and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. There you go right there. Right?
I got two to close out with. This is 2 Samuel chapter 8 and verse 1. And after this, it came to pass that David smote the Philistines and subdued them. And David Metheg Ammah out of the hand of the Philistines, and he smote Moab and measured them with a line, casting them down to the ground. Even with 2 lines measured he to put to death, and with 1 full line to keep alive. And so the Moabites became David's servants and brought gifts. David smote also Hadadezer, the son of Raab, king of Zobah, as he went to recover his border at the river Euphrates. And David took from him 1,000 chariots, 700 horsemen, 20,000 footmen. David huffed all the chariot horses, but reserved of them for 100 chariots. Right, so we see David is just he getting everybody in line, man. He's knowing how to divide who he wants. You know what I'm saying? I need these servants. They're on the left side. They're gonna be my servants. These are gonna be some good workers. The other ones, I'm gonna kill them right in front of them. That's gonna put nothing but fear on the ones that survive. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna drop down to chapter 8, and I'm gonna read verse 11. It says, which also King David did dedicate unto the Lord with the silver and gold that he had dedicated of all nations which he subdued, of Syria and of Moab and of the children of Ammon and of the Philistines and of Amalek and of the spoil of Hadadezer, son of Raab, king of Zobah. And David gat him a name when he returned from smiting the Syrians in the valley of Salt, being 18,000 men. They called the brother 18,000, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So he got him a name, right? So it says when he returned from smiting the Syrians, right? Verse 14, and he put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom put he garrisons, and all they of Edom became David's servants. And the Lord preserved David whithersoever he went. And David reigned all over Israel, over all Israel, and David executed judgment and justice unto all his people. And one last book, chapter, and verse.
And that's why I was saying, I was talking to earlier today, I was like, you know, King David was so mighty, even at his young age. He killed one of the most mightiest men, Goliath. And not only killed him, he chopped his head off and take it to Jerusalem. And then I tell the elder, I say, hey, why did he take it to Jerusalem? And he had different scenarios and different things. I said, hey, to teach the people how to get ahead in life, man. You know what I'm saying? He walked up in Jerusalem, had a whole giant head, man. You know what I'm saying? Just to show the people, hey, man, we got victory, man. The Israelites got victory in the last days, man. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord he's gonna show us how to get ahead in life, because he's gonna be that David in these last days. And the Bible says in Isaiah 63 that he's gonna fight them alone first, man, with blood all over his garments, man.
There's no better way to close it out than with this, man. This is Numbers chapter 24 and verse 16. He has said which heard the words of God and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth out of the city. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the Most High, he's going to send his son, Yahweh Shai, and he's going to smite up these nations, and Israel shall reign supreme upon this earth, man. With that, we're going to say Shalom, man.
Shalom.
All praise to the Most High. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That was mighty, man.